Hey everyone, welcome back to Season 5 for Round 4, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix career mode with Ferrari. And then the last race in Shanghai, we got our first podium for the Italian-based team. Very, very happy moment. Finishing in third place. Hopefully we can maintain that or even somehow fight for the win, because I know at the moment it's a bit far away from the McLarens, but we'll give it everything anyway. So yeah, here we go then for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
The circuit has rubbed in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on in the corners and max out down the straights?
The teams will have arrived with all manner of parts designed to capitalise on the long straights. The cars will be that much harder to drive in the corners, but everyone will be in the same boat.
Okay, so here we are for Q1. Let's go for our first flying lap of the session. As one of the Mercedes heads out just before myself there. Right, here we go. First flying lap here around the streets of Baku. I'm just going to wait for a couple more upgrades that will arrive at the Monaco Grand Prix. A major and an ultimate upgrade, so what to look forward to come Monaco. Hopefully myself and Sebastian can challenge the McLarens then. The first flying lap of Q1 is underway. Trying to get a nice tidy exit and deploy the DRS. Heavy clipping of the curb was very deep. That was not the greatest of lines through that corner. And Leclerc's directly behind me. He might be on a flying lap as well. We are not flying, that's for sure. Gasly a 140 flat. Through the castle section. But yeah, this lap's not been the best, I must say. Norris near the Mercedes on the side. Gasly was on the mediums. He'll have to go again. There's no way that Mercedes in this career mode would get through in Q2 on mediums. Yeah, we're a second behind Magnussen. We lost so much time the early stages of the lap. Leclerc's going to get a dream slipstream from myself. And a bit of racing here in qualifying to myself and Charles Leclerc. Yeah, no wonder Leclerc goes fast, as he got the perfect slipstream. Does get in the way of myself there. Yeah, we're definitely going to go again. miles ahead. That is the sort of tie you need. Yeah, we're nearly in the drop zone already, so we're going to go again for another lap. Just made a couple mistakes during that lap. Yeah, just come the end of the first sector, we were really taking some bad lines there. We're on the cusp at the moment. I think that's one of the house cars ahead of me. I don't think we'll quite get the slipstream from them. I was brave but late on the brakes. That may have compromised my exit a little bit. Don't clip the curb so heavy this time. That was a bit of a tidier run through that corner that time around. We're up by half a second on our PB. It was half a second down on Leclerc though. Through the castle section. We need to find an improvement here. Crucial. Nearly 7/10 up. There we go there, a dash to the line. What's it going to be? It's P11. Try and go again. That was way tidier. Slightly down though. Oh, that's going to be... Oh no, it was just a warning. I turned way too early there. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're improving this lap. We need a mega final sector if we're going to improve on this particular lap. That was very risky. Yeah, 2/10 down. It's not going to be an improvement. We can try for one more lap. We might be okay though. Lighter on fuel as well. Half a tenth up as well. Personal best.
1 minute to go.
getting into the Castle section now.
Just 30 seconds left in the session.
Yeah, copy. Quarter of a second up, 2.5 tenths up. Just about enough fuel to complete this lap. High power to the line. Stay. P11. We did make it across the line for a final lap, but that is our last lap of the session. Where does that put us? Puts us P12. Safely through. So we've lost, we've lost Butler, 19th. That is a shocker. Both Renault's out, Grosjean out, Rokovica right at the back, and Carlos Sainz out. Stroll just about gets through into Q2. But Haas 1-2 after qualifying 1. Leclerc did get that massive tow though from myself, so that helped. But Haas, maybe they could be fighting for pole. Well, let's see as we go into Q2. Okay, here we go for Q2. Here we go then, for our first run in Q2. We definitely need to find some sort of improvement. So once again, we seem to be the second best of the Ferraris in terms of qualifying currently here at Azerbaijan. It's just if we can get a massive tow from somebody, that would be fantastic. Oh, that was so poor. That was such a poor exit off the corner. Do you know what? I'm backing out of it. Ah, yay. No, I'm backing out of this one. Yeah. So, who is that ahead of us? I think that's one of the Red Bulls. Stafford or Stroll. Vettel sets the first competitive lap time of the session. Well, there is a Haas behind. Well, I gave a Haas a brilliant tow in Q1. Why can't they give me a tow in Q2? So we'll let them by. It's Leclerc going to return the favour, I see. So here we go, our first proper run. Should be close enough for the slipstream. Goes up to second. Perez is currently the quickest car. But we don't want to be too close to Leclerc because he might just randomly back out.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
That was so close to the wall. tenths down on Perez there.
You've lost access to one of the gears. We've lost one of the gears due to a fault.
Oh, you're joking. Lost one of the gears? That isn't good. As Leclerc's going to let me by, have we lost fifth gear? Oh no.
Okay, we're currently in the drop zone. We need you to move up.
I know we're in the drop zone.
Progress to the shootout.
That shouldn't affect us too much since it's fifth gear. P8. It's only P8 at the moment. We're a second off. And we've got a problem with the gears. It's not in the main race though, it's just the qualifying, but still that isn't ideal. We could be in trouble. I think we're going to have to change the gearbox for the race here. We're at 71% wear on it. It might be worth changing the gearbox. Yeah.
We're 8th in the speed trap, 204.2 miles per hour.
Yeah, because the race is going to be 28 laps or so. I think, like, yeah, we're gonna change the gearbox. So we're gonna have to sit out for this. This could be a bit worrying for us. But the question is, will we even get out in Q3 if we get through? We do get into Q3 just by 0.5 of a second to Magnussen, who is out, which is a shocker because Raikkonen usually has been out-qualified. Wow, Stroll out, Norris out in the Mercedes, Gasly gets through. And the McLarens now lead the way, and the Haas's are not far behind. Vettel not far behind either. Wow. But we will have to take a grid penalty. But I'd rather not have a gearbox failure in the race, so I think it's sensible. On to Q3. That was very close to being knocked out. It was like an Australia Q2, but here we are for Q3. Here we are for Q3. We will get out in time.
Repairs have set us back.
That's okay, we'll get out in time. Everyone is on track apart from me at the moment. Yeah, so we're gonna go out for our first run in Q3. I still don't think we'll be in the fight for pole. I don't think we'll be in the fight for pole, but I think top 6 again is probably the most we could get. There is a car ahead though. It's a Haas again. Is it Leclerc again? To give us a nice slipstream. Yeah, 5-place grid penalty for a component change. That's fair. Well, I'd rather not have a gearbox failure, so fresh gearbox in time for Q3. Here we go then. Perez currently on provisional pole position. The man who's leading this championship by 14 points to Hamilton. currently sitting on pole position. Couple tenths down on Perez. That was so close to the wall again, pushing the limits of the Ferrari. Everyone else is heading back into the pits. We won't get a tow though, unfortunately, but we're only a couple tenths down at the moment. Bouncing over the curb, that probably cost us a tenth or two. Half a second down on Perez. But we need to get a good exit off here. It was alright of an exit. So I have to power to the line. How far are we off Perez? As we'll make our way across the line. It's gonna be P4 only. We set the fastest final sector there. Wow, P4 currently, but a 5-place grid penalty. That was unexpectedly a good lap. We were. Wow, Leclerc second. Hamilton 8th. What has happened there to Hamilton? He's behind an Alfa Romeo and a Red Bull. That is insane. Right, we've got to go out again. We've got to go out again. This is it. Well, it's like Weber is on provisional pole. Weber's taken provisional pole. It could be Haas's first pole position of season 5 and Weber's first pole for his new team. As we start the final lap. Bouncing over the curb again. That's not really going to do my exit any good. Qualified complete. So Weber currently on provisional pole. Can he stay there though? No, half a second down. Perez has taken pole back. Weber will not start from pole, unfortunately. But oh no, that damaged the front wing. I think that's pretty much my qualifying over. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to improve on this lap. I just scraped the wall there, pushing too hard. That's it. There's no way I can improve now. Yeah, 3 tenths down. Just no. That's it. That's it for qualifying, I'm afraid. P6, where I thought we'd be, but we'll take a grid penalty. That's it for qualifying. We'll complete the lap anyway. It's not going to be an improvement. Where are we going? I think that's 6th. Well, the team are happy with P6, but we'll start 5 places further back. Weber's on the front row. Well done to Lucas Weber, only 1.5 tenths off pole. His first front row start of the season. Hamilton 3rd, over half a second off Perez, who takes pole. And Leclerc 4th, Ferrari 5th and 6th. Vettel wasn't there to challenge. But he'll start on row 3 alongside Verstappen. We'll start 11th. So we may get a free tyre choice then in that case, and we'll probably start on the medium tyre. Well then, looks like medium tyres for us. We've got the pace to go long in the race, so we'll go for it. See if we can get another podium from it.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you...
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about McDonald. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and starting alongside is Lucas Faber. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and Verstappen, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Lance Stroll, Norris, Bottas, George Russell and Sainz, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Devon Butler and Robert Kubica. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And McDonald, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Thanks for that, Jeff. So yeah, all grid penalties, a bit further back than I thought. Well, we've got a fresh engine then in the car. We should have an advantage in that way. So here we go for the formation lap. Should be a one-stop. Here we go then. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Can Weber take the lead for his first front row start in the Haas car? Let's see.
Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Damage to your wing. Damage to your wing. Suggest we box to change it. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. We have to replace that front wing. Box now. Go, go, go. The scrub tyres should rubber in faster, allowing you to start the push sooner. DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone. Is in P4 at the moment. The gap is 33.4 seconds. They're on old softs. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a 1:43.5. We're trailing our teammate by 33.0 seconds. They're on old softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 43.0. Gap to teammate ahead is 33.8 seconds. Lucas is in P4 at the moment. The gap is 33.6 seconds. They're on old softs. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a 1:43.3. Gasly ahead. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 45.8. Off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. The gap to the car ahead is 16.0 seconds. Is in P4 at the moment. The difference is 33.2 seconds. They're on old softs. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a 1:42.4. Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the hards. Expect the tyres are getting a bit worn at this point. You may notice a gradual loss in grip. They should still have a bit left though. difference is 32.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The gap is 30.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. Sebastian's in for his stop. Okay, we're starting to see a bit of tyre wear. You shouldn't have too much trouble for the time being, but the grip is going to start falling away. Window open. Let's box this lap. Gap to car in front is 4.8 seconds. Just fitted the hard tyres, car behind, running hards. Pit now, pit now. You currently hold 19th place. Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 3.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Gasly is behind you. Our gap behind is 11.3 seconds. They're on fresh hards. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. Lucas is currently in 6th place. P6. The gap is 14.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 43.5. Is currently in 6th place. P6, the difference is 15.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:43.5. in 6th place. P6, difference is 15.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 42.2. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on our tyre condition here, and I don't think we can rely on them much longer. Is currently in 6th place. P6, the gap is 18.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:41.4. Bits are ahead. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 10 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 44.6. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. In this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop. Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Is currently in 6th place. P6, the gap is 24.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:41.9. 2. Our gap to the car in front is 5.5 seconds. Butler is ahead of you. They're on fresh hards. The car ahead of you has just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound. Lucas is in P3. The difference is 38.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 41.4. DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely. Okay, good work. Great pass. You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. Some information on Norris. They are out of the race. receive you at the end of this lap. Release, release. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. We're trailing our teammate by 8.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in fourth. The time last lap was a 2-minute 28.1. Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. Work, that brings you up a place. Sebastian is in the pits. Verstappen ahead, they're on old hards. Their tyres are 13 laps old. They have some kind of mechanical problem. The time last lap was a 1:47.3. You're gaining by 3/10 a lap. Good work. Their tyres are 13 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:45.1. They're pulling away from us at a rate of 1.8 seconds per lap. The difference is 8.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Our teammate by 6.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1:54.5. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed. The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. To teammate behind is 8.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 16th. The time last lap was a 1:43.6. Ahead, they're on old hards. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:42.2. You're gaining by around 6/10 a lap. Is 11.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:43.4. Gap to car in front is 2.3 seconds. Okay, our main competitors in this race are Bottas and Vettel. We're leading our teammate by 10.0 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon. Gap to teammate behind is 5.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 10th. The time last lap was a 1:42.8. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Caution, caution. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty. is 4.5 seconds. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Brilliant stuff from McLaren today. What a superb victory. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to McDonald. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula One, so it was a great effort.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
That was a chaotic Grand Prix. That was... I mean, we got points, but that was very messy at certain points. Great overtakes at other points. Just, I completely misjudged the castle section with Norris and I ruined his race. I somehow didn't get a penalty for that. That one was on me. I don't know what Verstappen was doing. He was just glued to the left hand, like trying to hang on to my car, even though I already cleared him. And he just turned into me. The safety car kind of ruined Vettel's race, but helped me get points. Vettel could have probably had a podium there, but hopefully next time for the Spanish Grand Prix. I mean, we've still got both cars in the points. And we're still second in the Constructors. Alfa Romeo didn't score that many more because Raikkonen didn't finish. Hopefully better luck in Spain. We'll see them for the Spanish Grand Prix. Take care. Goodbye.